Hey you guys, what's going on? Welcome to this week's My Thoughts video. Obviously, I've missed the last couple weeks, mainly because those two teams we knew we were going to beat, and also one was on like a Thursday night, and then Kansas we knew we were going to slaughter, so I didn't do a My Thoughts video over that one. But anyway, this week's game, the number 11 Oklahoma Sooners defeated the unranked Baylor Bears in Norman 45-24. And I really don't know who to give an MVP to this game. There were four people that played outstanding. Baker Mayfield, 20 of 25, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. D.D. Westbrook, 4 catches for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. He continues to be one of the top receivers in the country so far. Joe Mixon, 14 carries, 124 yards and a touchdown. Samaje Perine, 23 carries for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was so nice to have Samaje Perine back. And Joe, please don't tear up any more parking tickets. We're going to need you for these next few games. I honestly don't know who my favorite Oklahoma running back is. Samaje Perine is amazing and obviously has had, great success at Oklahoma with the 400-yard game. But Mixon is just, I guess, more exciting. He makes more plays, I guess. But anyway, I don't really know who to give the MVP to this game. Actually, yes, I do. And it's not an offensive player. The offensive players played great. But I'm giving this week's MVP to Jordan Evans. 9 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. I think that's the 2 sacks. But anyway, yeah, he had 2 picks, 1 almost returned for a touchdown. He was tackled at the 1. So Jordan Evans gets this week's player of the game, MVP, whatever you want to call it. And today we played really, really well. Hopefully Seth Russell recovers fine, but Zach Smith came in and played really well. Combined, they went 21 of 46, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. That's a decent stat line to me. Russell went 15 of 31, 148, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. That, to me, shows that our defense showed up today. We were getting pressure on Seth Russell all day. The secondary tried to show up. Once Zach Smith came in, our secondary kind of became non-existent. Secondary's definitely been a problem this season. And one thing that the announcers kept pointing out was all the injuries. And yes, we've had some bad injuries, but some of these corners are really, really bad. Like, not even promising bad, just really bad. But on the ground, total for us, we went 50 carries for 253 yards and 4 touchdowns. The other touchdown ended up coming from Baker. And Baylor went 45 carries, 212 yards, and a touchdown. So both teams ran the ball pretty effectively. They averaged 4.7 yards a carry. We got 5.1. Receiving-wise, KD Cannon, could you consider that a garbage time touchdown? He got 2 of them, but I'm thinking the really long touchdown you can kind of consider garbage time, but he had 7 catches, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Ishmael Zamora, is that how I say his name? 6 catches, 87 yards, and then no one else really had a bunch of catches. So we played pretty well today. I'm happy with this win, but the main topic about this that I want to talk about is Oklahoma's playoff chances. Now, going into this week, I thought they were pretty much dead, and they very well could still be dead. But with the chaos that happened this week, and one of the other reasons this is coming out so late is because I was finishing up the Michigan-Iowa game, which hopefully most of you guys know by now. Michigan ended up losing. But going into this week, the committee's playoff teams were, and probably my playoff teams too, I think these were the top 4 that I chose, that I would have chosen, not in this order. But it was Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, and Washington. My order, and that's my phone going off. I apologize for that. My order would have been Alabama, Michigan, Clemson, Washington, just because I think Michigan's been a better team. But number 2, Clemson lost to Pitt, 43-42. Number 3, Michigan lost 11-13 to Iowa. Number 4, Washington lost 26-13 to number 20 USC. Number 8, Texas A&M lost 29-28 to Ole Miss. Number 9, Auburn lost 13-7 to Georgia. Penn State was in a competitive game with Indiana, who's unranked. Louisville gave me some hope that they were going to lose. They went into the fourth quarter really close and then dropped 34 points on their opponent. I just had to throw that in there. Louisville is ridiculously good. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that are above us. That's half the teams above us that lost. I don't know how far. I don't think Clemson will drop far. Clemson may drop to 6 or 7. Michigan may drop to probably 6 or 7. They'll probably end up 1 below Clemson. If Clemson drops to 6, Michigan will drop to 7. Washington losing to USC, And the playoff committee probably not favoring the Pac-12 too much. They'll probably drop down to about 10. A&M losing to Ole Miss, they're going to drop out of the top 10. Auburn losing to Georgia, they're easily going to drop out of the top 10. So I think after this week, Oklahoma's going to be number 8. So I think we're going to need a little bit more chaos to happen. But I think we may have a shot at the playoffs if we can win out. We have, I believe, 3 more games left, or is it 2? Honestly, don't know. Let me pull up the schedule. We have 2 more games left. We have at West Virginia, who right now is number 16. Obviously, they're going to move up in the rankings because I believe they won this week. Correct? Let me double check that. But I believe West Virginia won this week. Can I just please look at West Virginia's schedule? Don't care about the matchup right now. Yes, West Virginia beat Texas this week 24-20. So West Virginia will probably move up a couple spots, probably to 14. So next week, I think it could be number 8 Oklahoma against number 14 West Virginia. And if we can dominate them, that'll look good on us. Then we have a bye week. Then we have Oklahoma State. As long as Oklahoma State does not lose any games, who was their next opponent? They're number 13 right now. They won this week off of a missed extra point. So y'all kind of got lucky there, OSU fans. They're at TCU and then at Oklahoma. Normally, I would probably say TCU is going to win this, but I honestly don't know. I think this is going to be a good game. OSU, I think, has a really good chance. So I think OSU beats TCU, and then because are they undefeated in conference play? No, they lost to Baylor. So if Oklahoma State beats TCU and we beat West Virginia, the Big 12 is going to come down to Bedlam for the second year in a row. Obviously, we all know how that went last season. So, like I said, I think we're going to need a bit more chaos to happen. Ohio State, they need to continue to look good. I know they lost to Penn State, but Ohio State needs to continue to look good, and that may help us get into the playoffs. So, my guess for the top 4 next week, obviously, Bama's going to be number 1. I actually need to look at the current rankings because so much got thrown off this week. Let's go ahead and load up standings. I guess I actually need rankings wrong. Okay, so yeah, let's look at the College Football Playoff Committee rankings this week. So Clemson, Michigan, Washington all lost. So Ohio State will probably jump up to 2. Louisville will go to 3 or 4. And Wisconsin? Wisconsin go from 7 to 4 this week? That would be a little insane. They did beat Illinois 48-3. I don't honestly know who's going to be that 4th team. I know it's supposed to be my thoughts on Oklahoma Baylor, but really not much to say on that. I wanted to kind of go into full depth into the rest of the college football playoffs. I'm thinking Alabama, Louisville, Wisconsin, and Penn State would be the top 4. But I don't think Clemson or Michigan are going to drop below 6 or 7, so I doubt Oklahoma jumps into the top 5. That would be nice if we passed all those teams that lost, because if they drop every team that lost below us, we would move to 5. That's insane. Or 6. One of those 2 numbers. But anyway, I think with the chaos that happened this week, we do stand a chance to make the playoffs. Obviously, once we get to the playoffs, I don't have a whole lot of hope for us because of all the injuries on defense and the fact that even whenever the starters were in, we didn't play defense very well. So it could very well end up being a problem. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's My Thoughts video. Couldn't think of the title of the video. Next week we play West Virginia. I believe that's next week, or do we have a bye week? No. Today's the 12th. We play on the 19th, and then we'll have a bye week, and then Oklahoma State. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you guys next time.